The state's highest court will now decide if it should reinstate a punishment in one of New Mexico's highest profile public corruption cases. The former Tax and Revenue Secretary was found guilty by a jury, then sentenced for stealing thousands of dollars. But her convictions were later vacated. News 13's Marilyn Upchurch has this story.
This case comes down to law around statute of limitations. Tax and Rev Secretary Demesia Padilla argues the state took too long to pursue charges against her, while the state says the charges were filed within the proper time frame and only delayed due to court challenges.
The state was in the wrong venue. That's correct, Your Honor. And the state couldn't have known that when it filed charges. In fact, the defendant didn't know that. The defendant objected on venue grounds, but said, well, venue lies either in Sandoval or in Bernalillo.
But they objected at the prelim, so
That's
that was
correct.
very early on. The state could have at that point investigated what would be the most proper avenue to follow.
A jury found Padilla guilty in 2021 of stealing $25,000 from a client while acting as Tax and Revenue Secretary under former Governor Susana Martinez. But her convictions were overturned last year after the State Court of Appeals found prosecutors violated the statute of limitations. In 2018, prior Attorney General Hector Balderas filed the charges first in Santa Fe, which ended up being the wrong district court. That led to a delay in the charges being refiled in a different district court. The AG's office argues the statute of limitations was suspended when the charges were first filed. Padilla's attorneys disagree and argue that state law doesn't allow for a pause of the statute of limitations in this case.
So the nature of a tolling statute is whether or not it allows periods during which the statute of limitations would otherwise have been running to not count. And so it happens, those periods are in fact running while the statute of limitations would otherwise be gradually elapsing.
Justices did not make a decision in the case today, and there's no word on when exactly they could make a ruling. Back to you.
Padilla was originally facing up to 18 years in prison, but was sentenced to just 5 years probation. She was still serving that sentence when her convictions were vacated.